So, Cam.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Norm Macdonald?
No.
Passed away today.
Really?
Apparently he'd been battling cancer for 6 years.
I'm not surprised.
What?
No, I mean the whole no fucks given kind of loose take on life.
Yeah.
That's someone who's accepted their end.
Yeah, that actually does check out now that you put it like that.
But you think that he wouldn't have... He had a podcast for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
He didn't bring up having cancer once?
I mean, maybe it just wasn't that big of a deal to him. If you've embraced the eternal abyss, who cares if it comes today or 50 years down the line? It is what it is.
He pegs me as the kind of guy that wouldn't want a bunch of unwanted pity or sympathy.
Yeah.
He seems very much like the type of person that would prefer to handle that on his own and not have a bunch of people telling him how sorry they feel for him and that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. It kind of would have put a damper on his comedy recently if I knew he was unwell.
Yeah,
right.
Imagine buying comedy tickets to the man who's going to die next week.
Yeah,
it'd be a surreal show.
Honestly, I'd go see that show just because that would have to be like a different style of comedy from Norm's, you know?
Yeah,
it could not be.
That's exactly the point I was going to make. Is he wouldn't be able to do the kind of comedy he would want either. He would have to tailor his comedy around being the guy that has cancer and is going to die.
Yeah.
It becomes a fact too big for people to overlook. You know?
Yeah. No, it's like you can't. Like you feel bad about it when you're around someone who's terminally ill. All you think about is like this person is terminally ill.
It really becomes part of their identity almost.
Yeah, to some degree. How long did he know?
I think the article said for 6 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. He knew for a long time. I don't know what type of cancer it was, but if you can have it for 6 years, it was, it wasn't pancreatic.
Yeah.
So.
The slow burn.
Yeah, which is probably a worse form of cancer.
If it's like surprise brain cancer, you're in the hospital for like a week and a half and you just drop dead.
Like, or even like pancreatic, where it's like you're not making it past the year, you know?
It's going to be a painful year, but...
the year's going to suck.
Surprise brain cancer, you're out of there.
How often do you get surprise brain cancer, Cam?
Well, it's a surprise. You never know when it's going to happen. Hard to put a number on it.
That actually happened to my aunt's friend. My aunt, about a year ago, was diagnosed with like pretty late stage breast cancer. So she's been going through a similar thing, and it's not looking too good for her, unfortunately.
Damn.
But shortly after she got diagnosed, about like a few months after she got diagnosed, one of her best friends got diagnosed with like brain cancer.
Did they happen to work together?
I think they did, but she had breast cancer and he had brain cancer, so...
Do you think it's some kind of exposure in the building?
It could have been, but I mean, they're like lawyers in DC, so they're they're not in like a high exposure.
So they thought about that. Don't worry.
Hey, maybe it's an old law office that still has like asbestos and stuff everywhere. Who knows?
It's possible. I don't know.
So Cam, I got to ask you, what kind of brain cancer isn't a surprise? Expected brain cancer?
I mean, if you work in like a nuclear...
If it's your job,
surprise brain cancer.
If
I work in Chernobyl, then I'm expecting brain cancer.
I mean, if it's your job to test out the X-ray machines at the hospital when they get a new X-ray machine, that's not such a surprise.
Okay,
but for the most part,
and they always do head scans for some reason.
Dude, I heard somewhere that being in like an X-ray or MRI operator, I think specifically an X-ray operator, it gives you a fair amount of radiation, but nothing absurd. Being a airplane pilot gives you something like 100 to 1,000 times that dose level.
Huh.
Wow.
Just because there's no atmosphere in between you and the sun rays, so you're just getting pounded.
I wonder how many bananas you would have to eat to get the level of radiation that you would get from standing in front of like the elephant's foot for 1 second.
You would die of overeating before you...
Yeah, you definitely would.
You would die from some kind of vitamin poisoning first.
Yeah.
Before the potassium really got to count up.
But probably just from sheer mass of bananas you'd have to consume. My guess.
It's like I always heard that like you could never take enough LSD to OD because you'd have to take so much paper in that your stomach would explode.
Oh God. Yeah.
But
That's
LSD
just
comes in a liquid.
You could just drink it. Yeah. But ignoring that, if you were just to take the paper.
Yeah.
Imagine getting waterboarded with LSD.
Well, you die pretty quick. Take
Well,
like a half hour.
Well, not from waterboarding.
Well, no, but you'd be absorbing the LSD as soon as the LSD. Oh, I guess, yeah, because the waterboarding would still hurt till then.
Yeah.
Is it as viscous as water? Is it less viscous, more viscous?
That's actually a good question.
I wonder how soluble
Also,
it is.
which way is viscous?
How
Is
viscous?
when
The
it's
more
thick?
viscous it is, the more jelly-like.
Yeah,
it
the
is.
more thick it is.
What's the opposite of that?
Actually, I think it might actually be the other way.
No, I think Cam's correct.
The more
That's what I was
viscous it
thinking.
is, the more gooey it is.
Yeah, but then what's the other one?
I think you just call it
Yeah.
less viscous.
It's just a viscous scale.
There's definitely a word for it. For like oils and stuff that just continue to slide.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm bringing up the deep questions early on in the
Yeah.
podcast.
It's a good question. I don't know what you'd call that.
Yeah.
Man, comedians dropping like flies.
Who else is
We
there?
lost Trevor Moore, the leader of the Whitest Kids You Know, the founder, I guess.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah,
He's dead?
he's dead. Just out of nowhere, some accident
Yeah,
apparently.
he had I think a car accident or something.
Oh, that was so weird. I saw a clip of him recently on Joe Rogan. Like, oh, I gotta watch that.
That clip was going around because his name was in the search results recently.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh man.
You should check out the video of how his friends reacted. It's pretty good.
Wait, is it his friends from What Is Kid You Know?
Yeah.
Which, dude, it's so funny. They all look like they're in makeup playing their older selves in the show. Like
Yeah.
when they play a dad or something. It's
But they're just
funny.
old now.
It was it really that long ago?
I mean, they were
was like
like our
20.
age when they were doing. They were like in their early 20s when they were doing it.
That was like
probably,
the
and
early 2000s. I mean,
That was 20 years ago.
yeah, that was
dude.
like 20 years ago.
So they're in their 40s. Yeah, it checks out.
Also, you guys
Yeah.
ever watched that show recently? A lot of the jokes rely on things that would not work
yeah, that's
nowadays.
that's largely
I mean,
why it's so.
The only reason the show got any traction was because IFC was willing to play it, right? No other channel, like even Adult Swim, was like, this is a little much.
Yeah.
It's
Like
a little much.
There's literally a sketch called Race War,
It's so funny.
which is Trevor
It's,
Moore standing outside of their house with a baseball bat, hitting the fence, yelling at his neighbor, "Race War, Race War!"
it's incredible, dude. That show pushed the limits of what I thought comedy was. Because before that, I'd only seen like comedic movies and SNL, and I was like, this kind of blows. We call this comedy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they really were like pinnacle of like sketch comedy.
Yeah,
Oh, did you see their sketch, Gay Football League?
maybe.
It was
Probably
It
at
was
some
like
point.
the most like self-aware one they ever put, or not self-aware, but like sort of like, I don't know. They would do like a lot of stuff where sort of the punchline was that somebody was gay or something like that.
That was about 60% of the jokes in the show.
Have you seen?
This was like there was like a new football league called the GFL, the Gay Football League.
That does sound familiar.
They had a football conference, and they keep interviewing the coaches and like the quarterback and everything, and they're just like normal dudes just talking about how like, yeah, well, next season we got to work harder, we got to fix some of the problems we have on the team. And then it keeps going to like Gay Football League.
Dude, wasn't I don't know if it was a joke or something, but wasn't there an NFL ad during Pride Month that said football is gay? I'm pretty sure that was real.
I'm pretty sure there's only been one gay footballer on an active roster in NFL history, so I guess you could say that football is gay.
It's a popular thing.
I mean, that sounds like something the NFL would put out. It does.
Wasn't
Well, actually,
it?
so they got really like into like I don't know, sort of the whole woke kind of culture stuff
Which
last year.
awful move.
Which I mean, like, I'm not gonna say whether I'm for or against that, but like, I just wanted to watch football.
That's
You know?
why it's a bad move. I mean, who wants any kind of politics in your sports?
Now, I think they got a bunch of backlash from it about it, and now they have to be like really vague about it this season. So they keep having like these like ads before the games that would have been like last year about like, oh, let's end racism, Black Lives Matter and everything. And this year it's just like, we're all a team, America. We're in it together.
God, that's somehow worse.
It's like now it's very unclear what your message is. I don't get it anymore.
That's kind of a they're fine people on both sides kind of statement.
Yeah. When you muddy the waters like that, it's just
you're not going to make anybody happy.
Just an absolute mess.
Yeah, it's like you might as well just not say anything at all, which was probably your best move before.
Yeah. Speaking of like comedy you can't really do anymore, like back in the day, kind of like What Is Kids You Know, if you should check out two of the guys from the current SNL, Kyle Mooney and his friend Beck. They used to do like YouTube videos back in the day in the similar like time frame, early 2000s, that was kind of along a similar vein of just like shorter videos of just absolute like ridiculous like sketch ideas. The one that reminded me was, you guys were talking about the gay football league, and they have one about like them finding out one of their roommates is gay, and like they walk in on his roommate like as he's watching like gay porn, and like there are like two like shirtless guys in his room, and he like pretends like he has no idea what's going on. he's like oh, like what's this on my, how did this get up on my computer? And like he has pictures of like shirtless guys on his wall, and his friend is like, dude, what are these? He's like, oh man, like how did those get there? And then they like turn the camera to the bed, and there's two shirtless guys, and he's like, who are these guys? He's like, where did these guys come from? Like, you guys got to get out of here. He's like, all right, we're gonna go, dude, like sorry to bother you. He's like, no, I'll come with you. And like, but as he like pretends to come with them, he like stays in the room and starts undressing. He's like, I'll come with you, as he's like undressing and closing the door. It's hilarious.
See, that's the funniest bit. Denying something really obvious, especially when it comes to sexuality, is very funny as a bit.
And it's really I feel like Kyle Mooney is so underappreciated like on SNL. Like if you like watching their old stuff, I think it's called like the Good Neighbor or something. Definitely like check it out on YouTube. It's some of the funniest videos I've seen in a long time.
Have you seen his video Baseball?
Yeah, I've seen almost all of them.
Okay, Baseball. That's like the only one that I've watched that I like really remember too terribly well. But I just remember loving Baseball. It's him interviewing people at a baseball game.
Oh yeah,
including because he has a press pass the players, and he's just putting on the best character.
He also used there. It's pretty much like what All Gas No Breaks kind of is, like that kind of absurdist, like super cringy interview style where the interview. I mean,
but the joke's on him,
does
not
it
on
a
the
lot
people.
better. The joke's on the people. The joke is on him being just the most absurdly awkward, uncomfortable interviewer. Like, clearly has no like place being in this like setting, interviewing like people at a baseball game. He just like is like, he'll come up to people and literally say like nonsense, like mumble various sports related words, but they'll be incoherent sentences, and people will be trying to understand like what he's asking,
and like he'll mumble them too. He'll be like, "So you think the boys are gonna make it all the way this year?" And people will be like, "What?" And then eventually they'll just kind of, yep, like just completely pretend like they understood the question that he clearly was not asking.
Dude, what happened to SNL? I was told there was a time where it was in general pretty funny. Those days are long gone.
Cam, I'll tell you what happened, man. You turned 21. It stops being funny when you become an adult. No,
it's not targeted towards kids, though. It's like a family entertainment kind of platform.
It's like hilarious. Like everyone thinks the best era of SNL is the era that was really popular right when they were in high school.
Not here. It sucked.
Oh, really?
It was bad. Yeah. It was really bad.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of love the
our high school era.
I think Norm Macdonald was way better than Seth Meyers.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Seth Meyers,
obviously.
Seth Meyers stole my fucking name. Could only be one.
Yeah.
Seth Meyers has kind of like thrived a bit more in the pandemic. Like he's really like honed in on how to do like a show without an audience.
Dude, pandemic
Yeah.
was make it or break it for
He
comedians.
definitely was one of the make it in the
Bro,
pandemic.
you catch Trevor Noah?
Yes, dude, bro, he broke down like a
Whoa,
fucking.
what the fuck did Trevor
He's
Noah
just-
do?
Bro, hit him on his own, just recording on his laptop.
like in his house.
Like, dude, you call yourself a comedian, but you couldn't even make a YouTube video without 7,000 people writing for you.
The
Yeah.
the dude was never funny.
No.
I mean, I watched the shit
No.
before he was on. Who was that? The Daily
He is the Daily Show.
Show. Yeah, before he was on the. I couldn't remember if it was the.
Well,
Daily
he was
Report.
on the Daily Show, but as a like a correspondent for Jon
No,
Stewart.
I watched him back when he was on like British comedy game shows.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh,
I
what?
like that kind of shit. He wasn't funny then
That's
either.
weird.
I like it. He's cool. He wasn't funny then either. He's not funny. He's smart. I'll give him that. He's an intelligent guy.
Yeah, he's seems smart, generally agreeable.
Yeah.
Not particularly funny though.
No. I wouldn't come to him for a good time. I'd come to him to ask him a question about how I should file my taxes.
I mean, yeah, I'd come to him if we had like a church fundraiser or something.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Yeah, he's church funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, do you guys see total non sequitur? You guys see the Call of Duty Vanguard trailers and stuff?
I did.
Bro, that game looking like cheeks. It sucks.
Yeah.
It looks really, really bad. First of all,
Wait, so which
Very
branch
bad.
of Call of Duty is this? Is this the
Seth-
past, the
Seth,
future, or the
well,
present?
let me ask you, Seth. Where in time do you think this game takes place?
So it's called what again?
Call
You
of
get
Duty
one guess and you'll
Vanguard.
get it right.
Call of Duty Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
You get one guess and you'll get it right.
Oh, well, based off of Vanguard.
Yeah.
It's in
Just
the
say it.
past.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's World War II.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
Yeah.
Let me just go down the list for you. Call of
Sorry, you
Duty
made
1.
me really like in my head
Call of
there
Duty 2.
about what Vanguard meant. I was like, I think that's a type of knight, you know?
Dude, you got Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1, Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty World at War.
Wait, is there one just called Big Red 1?
It was like a DLC add-on to Call of Duty 2. It was pretty good.
It was the Big Red 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big
Weird.
Red 1. Then you got World at War,
Wait, is it
Then
Big
you
Red
have
1 or is
Call
it
of
Big
Duty
Red
World War
1?
2.
Sorry, I'll stop talking.
So in total, that's like, I don't know, 7, 8 World War II games at this point.
That's a substantial like fraction of their like entire franchise.
And they just did one
2 or 3 years ago.
3 games ago.
Yeah.
Because we just had Black Ops, another Black Ops. We had another Modern Warfare.
To be fair,
Before that, we had
in
Call
that
of Duty
Modern Warfare's
World War
defense-
II,
I mean,
which everyone has played.
You gotta
against.
admit,
in
though,
Modern
World War
Warfare
II
2 or in Modern Warfare 2019 was a pretty good game in its defense.
It was, but there's nothing original to the premise.
That's also true.
Okay, but
It's
you got to admit,
the same thing.
World War II is a war that very much so fits sort of the style of how the combat works in FPS
Mhm.
shooters, modern FPS shooters.
Yes.
And it is the most recent war in memory where both sides were evenly matched fighting in that style.
Yes. But if you want the World War II aesthetic, if you want the World War II weapons for the most part, just do the Korean War. There's
But
not been a single
That
Korean
would actually
war
be
shooter. Not
kind
one.
of that was, and actually that was an even fight, and it was conventional warfare.
Plus, you get prototype helicopters. It's basically World War II with prototype helicopters in a totally different area with totally different enemies. It wouldn't be the exact same thing you saw throughout your entire childhood.
But no one gives a shit about the Korean War.
Who cares about World War II in your 8th installment in the Call of Duty series?
Some
come on.
some fucking 8th grader who hasn't heard of any other
Oh,
war
they're not.
and is gonna beg his mom for it.
Bro, if
and
you think they're-
his mom is
Dude, he
going
can-
through a
he can
rough
play the-
divorce, so she's gonna get it for him.
if you think kids are being taught about World War II or any kind of history,
You think there's it's
not happening.
anything
It's
factually
not
based in
happening.
Call of Duty?
well, yeah, that's
fact-
also true. They must. Oh no, they probably don't show Hitler. I was gonna say they must show Hitler.
in the last Call of Duty World War II. Nah,
they didn't even
there's
show a
no-
swastika.
And that was
That was
part of-
Battlefield.
No, it was
Oh,
both. It
was
was
that-
both.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was part of my big problem with Call of Duty World War II and Battlefield 5. I'm no longer fighting Germans. I'm fighting the young patriotic... I'm no longer fighting Nazis. Now I'm fighting the patriotic German youth who are forced to the front line.
Well,
It's no longer about smacking bad dudes down.
You played Battlefield
it's totally
1, though,
ambiguous.
Right? You played Battlefield 1. I was just fighting young patriotic Germans there when I played as the Americans.
But the bad guy in this game is been stripped of that bad guy.
Yeah, there's no bad guy in World War One.
Yeah, they do a really good job of kind of making it, giving you perspectives from each and every aside from every perspective.
Yeah.
From that war.
Yeah, but if you strip away all the Nazi symbolage and memorabilia and everything, it I don't know. It doesn't have the same punch. It's
just some
World
German
War II
dudes
without any of the horrors of World War II.
Yeah, but I mean, they couldn't sell in Germany then, and that's less money they make.
Well, they haven't cared about that. I mean, look at all the other Call of Duty games that were released up until World War II. The ones that took place in World War II.
But think about how much more greedy these companies have gotten recently.
I'm no more greedy than they were before. They just didn't have the capacity to really micromanage all of your transactions.
When
you bought a game, and that was it, basically.
Is the population of people in Germany who are playing Call of Duty really like such a substantial portion of their like player base that they need to like?
Germans are playing truck driving simulators.
That's a lot of people that are potential customers that you've just lost out on because you put a swastika in your game.
They're not playing arcadey shooters. They like the hardcore stuff.
They're probably playing Euro Truck Driving Simulator. But they're trying to bring them into the fold. I mean, you're trying to get that market.
Video game companies just haven't
Baseball
seemed to really
keeps
care.
Trying in fucking China, even though they're not going to get China.
Also, why wouldn't Germany want to encourage killing Nazis?
They'd rather just not talk about it.
Yeah.
Nazi symbol. Yeah, it's like
ever.
Hitler's bunker where he died is now a parking lot.
Not even a museum, just
just a parking lot. It's gone.
That's kind of awesome.
They just got rid of it.
Most things related to the
Nazis,
Führer bunker.
Most things related to the Nazis just gone. You can't. It's a parking lot.
Erasing history on principle, bad. I don't care if you're blowing up statues of Buddha. I don't care if you're blowing up the Führer bunker. That's history. It needs to be seen. Otherwise, people will not learn the lesson. And we're starting to see what happens as more and more generations start to not learn the
Understand
lesson.
history, yeah.
It's getting bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, you see Project Veritas did a little expose on some teachers out in California, putting Antifa flags in their classrooms and giving kids extra credit for going to Antifa rallies. Oh, big time expose, big time by Project Veritas.
Jesus,
it's crazy. It got so hot, in fact, that the parents went in heated at the next PTA meeting or whatever. People were not happy.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, you can't.
The guy
do that.
had an ingsoc.
That'd be like if I was like, if you hung up a Proud Boys flag and we're like, go to a Proud Boys rally and I'll give you extra
Tell
credit.
kids to go to any kind of political rally is not your job as a teacher.
Yeah, but especially like one on the extreme ends of the political spectrum.
Well, that's the thing in California. Is that the extreme of the spectrum?
The only time,
kind of just what's
past the terrorist group?
The only time
the ghost of white supremacy.
I guess the only time it's acceptable to make going to those types of rallies an assignment is if you're like a college student and you're taking a course.
Yeah,
like if it was like
it should not be something
radical.
The whole point of college, especially liberal arts, is to be exposed to as many radical ideas as possible and to decide for yourself.
Or as many ideas.
Sure.
You can be exposed to the moderate
ideas,
as well.
radical or otherwise.
Yeah.
Right. That you're supposed to be teaching kids the very basics to get them out of high school. And there's there's some counties where I think it was in Oregon where the requirement to graduate high school, you don't have to know math. You don't have to even be literate. I'll still pass you.
Well, that's true of Baltimore. Well, dude, you realize that, I guess they won't pass you, but you saw that whole stat that came out that basically showed that Baltimore had been covering up its education numbers for a long time, apparently.
I think so, yeah.
There's not a single student in Baltimore high schools who is at grade level in any subject.
There was a story about a kid who passed, and it was like a really, really big deal. Everyone was cheering about it. A kid was getting like an F+ across the board.
Paths.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets over there. Dude,
the Baltimore public school system is...
The public school system across the U.S. is crumbling real quick. And it's no surprise why more people are moving to homeschooling. I mean...
And private schooling, if you can afford it.
And private schooling. But at the end of the
private
day...
schooling, you also run the risk of, like politicization and polarization and
family
indoctrination to any sort of religious or ideological belief.
we know a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, Quakerism is one of the more, it's decent ones to have been indoctrinated.
It's almost more an ideology.
It's not really a religion.
But that's what everyone in a cult says.
It's I don't know if we're the best ideology than a religion.
Yeah.
What was that song that you two got super hype about?
Oh, the George Fox song.
Yeah, the George Fox song.
I don't know. You just said some fucking song that you sung in school every day, and I was like, okay. As a guy who went to public school, you were in a cult.
Walk in the light wherever you may be, dude. Just walk in the light.
With your old leather breeches and your shaggy locks.
I need you two to leave my house now.
Podcast is over.
I think I invited cultists into my home.
Yeah, dude. I guess I think just at the end of the day, putting the education of your kids in anyone else's hands, you're taking a gamble.
Yeah.
At a private school, you might have a better gamble. It's still a gamble.
Yeah.
All it takes is one crazy dude. The teacher who got exposed by Project Veritas, he had an ingsoc tattoo. Like they were the good guys in 1984. He had the tattoo, dude.
He had INSOC tattooed on his arm.
Yep. War is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength.
To be fair, I feel like there's
good guys.
I feel like there's a large. I feel like a majority of today's students aren't gonna understand that reference.
No, they won't.
Which is probably the problem, but
yeah.
Also, it's not. No one's looking at that and going, yes.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, I don't. Anyone was like, yes.
That's like having a swastika on your chest, and no one knows what that means because they cut it out of Call of Duty in the past.
Yo, what if we're talking about this now, but the next generation's like, these kids don't even know what a swastika is.
Yeah,
I never heard of Adolf Hitler.
It's insane. Insane how things are going. Oh yeah, we were talking about Call of Duty Vanguard. Both Call of Duty Vanguard and Battlefield 2042 release next month. Did you know that?
I knew Battlefield 2042 did. I did not care about.
Where's the gameplay been? There's been a couple videos here or there for Battlefield 2042. We have seen very little. And Battlefield's known for the extended theatrical trailers. It's not here.
I mean, they know you're still going to buy it.
No, I'm not.
They know that.
I'm not going to buy it until I see gameplay.
They know that somebody is going to still buy it.
That is.
It's like the Maddens get worse every year. Someone buys them.
True.
But they have competition. Madden doesn't.
Yeah, and as much as like shade as you can throw at Madden, it's mostly consistent. There will be bump years where it's noticeably worse, but not like Battlefield, where since Battlefield 1, things formula-wise for the game have been going downhill fast.
Okay.
So Battlefield 2042 comes through. They come through with the initial trailer.
Which
it showed a lot of
excited.
It got people hyped. It showed people a lot of things that they enjoyed from Battlefield 4 and the classic Battlefields. The gameplay they've been releasing since, it looks like a mess.
It's really chaotic.
There's people shooting zip lines everywhere. Now there's no classes.
No one gives a shit about that.
Yeah, it's a hero shooter now. There's no classes. You choose your hero.
What the fuck?
And the hero has special abilities.
Okay, I like that type of shooter, but I don't go to Battlefield
Seth,
for
the
it.
ability to be a medic is tied to a character now. This isn't Battlefield.
Yeah, no, it's just not.
This is Call of Duty 2019, Modern Warfare 2019 meets Apex Legends or Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah.
Or fucking Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
how many
newsflash,
how many characters are there?
Not what we played Battlefield for. I don't know. We haven't seen the full roster yet. I don't
Yeah,
think.
no,
Now
that's not
you-
what I did not play it for that. I thought I was the soldier.
No one in a Battlefield multiplayer game should have a name, like, at all.
Yeah, I mean, other than the user's name.
Yeah, the entire
Which is-
point is you're just some grunt.
Yeah,
That's the appeal.
Yeah.
I actually figured I was always the guy. You know, I killed a guy. I killed him. You know, when I played Battlefield 1, you know, when I was playing as the Austrians, I accepted that I was an Austrian and I hated Italians. You know,
Dude, that game had incredible atmosphere.
It had such good. I still
Like-
go back. I got into that game late, but I
Dude,
still
the,
go back to that
the
game.
sound design, the graphics, the weapon sound
Dude,
and everything.
I want to go back
it's-
and play it tonight. Now that we're talking about
It's
it.
on point. Dude, you'll never guess what I have downloaded on my PS4 right now. I have damn it, I'm blanking on the name. What's the
You see, now it makes me wanna guess.
What's the
Hold
mech
up.
what's the mech game? The
Oh,
mech game. The open world one.
Oh, Titanfall or
Not-
Mechas
No.
open world mech game.
Matt, you're Iron Man
Oh,
on an
oh,
alien
Warframe?
planet. Not Warframe. You're Iron Man on an alien planet. What game is that?
Anthem.
That's the one. You
For
know what I
$3
got?
or $4.
You know what I got the deluxe edition of Anthem for? $3.99.
Oh my god!
Oh, you can't get a meal
yo,
at McDonald's for that cheap.
they were. You could get a McDouble.
That's so
You could get a Mc-
sad.
Can you not get the McDouble for that
I don't
price
know if-
anymore?
I don't know if you can get McDouble for
You
that
can't
price
get. You
anymore.
cannot get a full meal. You can get a sandwich.
Yeah, you can get a sandwich,
but
I
you
guess.
cannot get an actual meal. You
You
can't even get a coffee at Starbucks
is-
for that fucking price, dude.
Not anymore.
This is the question now. We got to find out if we can go to McDonald's as a podcast and if we can get a McDouble and a small fry
Imagine
for $3.99 or less.
Imagine how sad that IRS report will be when we expense that for the podcast.
$3.87. We'd like to write that off.
Yeah.
A single McDouble and a small fry from McDonald's.
Yeah, dude. My God.
Meal for the podcast divided 3 ways.
One sandwich and fries divided 3 ways. That is unreal. I knew the price had gone down, but that is unbelievable.
No one.
There are people that bought that for like $80.
It's so sad.
Yes, how's that? And that is why you never pre-order. Post Watch Dogs.
Because
you have no excuse to
I
pre-order.
almost pre-ordered that game because
I pre-ordered
because
Cyberwatch.
that was really like that was OG Cyberpunk. Like that was one of the first games that up until release everyone thought was going to be awesome, and literally the day it released, it was just a
Terrible.
disaster.
I'd ridden that roller coaster before. I have
guess
been very
MCC
excited for Watch Dogs. And then it dropped, and I have no longer been excited for anything. Really.
Actually, honestly, Cyberpunk on PC wasn't that bad.
Well,
it didn't
yeah,
work. It didn't work on PS4.
when you have unlimited capacity to upgrade your computer, you can brute force the game to work well. Right?
Yeah, and that's what I did.
When it dropped on the console that it was announced on, it was unplayable.
Well, yeah, you can't play it on dinosaur-ass PS4.
It
That's
wasn't
like-
dinosaur ass when they first announced the game. If they had just said we're going to focus on PC first exclusively, then PS5 release, then maybe a PS4 release, I would have been fine with that. That's not how they marketed it.
No, that is
though.
not at all. I don't think they. I don't think they knew what they were getting into at the time.
No,
They didn't know the scale of the game.
have you seen some of the leaked emails and internal reports?
No, I have not. I imagine they're in Polish.
Yeah, that's true. But the executives were constantly asking them to make like just vertical leaps out of nowhere, trying to get them to pack in things into the game that their not operating system, but the engine for the game just couldn't handle. Things that kills the game. Kind of like what happened with Dead Space 3. That series had done really, really well, and EA wanted the third one to do gangbuster numbers. So they're like, okay, it'll be Dead Space, but it's also a co-op third-person shooter. It's like, what? Why even put that in the game? Answer: because some executive said to do.
Did you hear about that game designer that used the fable of the golden goose? Was using the fable of the golden goose about game devs to explain it to a game executive, what they were doing to the people that work for them.
No.
Yeah, you know the fable of the golden goose.
Yeah,
For any listeners that don't, it's basically there's this town that, it varies who the people are, but usually it's like a town. There's a goose that lays golden eggs, and the people get more and more greedy as the goose is laying these golden eggs, and figure, well, all the golden eggs must be inside the goose. They kill the goose. There's no golden eggs in there. The goose made the golden eggs. So they're overworking the goose and everything. And so it's an analogy for what game executives are doing to game devs. To which the game executive replied, "You know what? That's a great story, but sometimes there's nothing better than a good foie gras."
Yeah. Dude, I think Jake and I both like that video that shows the Bungie team from Halo 3 versus the 343 team from Halo 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Dude, the amount of corporatization that's been shoved into the video game market is insane.
Yeah.
What it meant to be a game designer in the late 90s, early 2000s is so different than what it is today.
Yeah.
It's almost like unwatchable. Like their new like vidocs and like breakdowns, they're almost like I can never get through more than like 3 or 4 minutes of them.
They show some cool tech, but the way they're talking is so sanitized and
corporate and just
it's just I don't know.
There's
Things
clearly
really
no
changed.
emotion behind like what they're talking about. It's clearly just a business for them. And
At the end of the day, they are trying to create a product, but there should be some semblance of it being art to some degree.
yeah, they're not fans, and that's one of the huge things you gather from the older like Bungie vidocs from back in the day, the Halo 1 and 2 and 3 like vidocs is those. I mean, I've watched some of those that are an hour and a half long, and all the way through, because like the passion and the excitement is just palpable in those videos. Like every person that's interviewed and has something to say talks about like their own portion of the game that they're working on and how passionate you can see and hear how passionate they are about it, and it makes you excited for what they're working on.
Yeah, everyone joined the team because they wanted to contribute something special and make it a real project by the end,
Yeah, they were first and foremost fans of what they were making, and they wanted to put their ideas and their creative images and ideas into the game. Whereas nowadays, 343s and other developers in general they're more focused on just taking what's already exists and boiling it down to just numbers and statistics and bare bones of what they think is going to sell, and there's no emotion behind the product that they're releasing.
Yeah, like I find a lot of it in the language. When they started talking about a Q4 release, so it's game over. It's not art anymore. It is a corporate product to be finely tuned and released for a receptive audience. I don't know. Things have gotten so expensive when it comes to media across the board that no one really wants to take risks anymore. You can't blame them when you got hundreds of millions of dollars on the line. There's a lot of pressure to bring back returns, but I don't know. You make everything as palatable as possible by as many people as possible. You're not going to hit your niche. Not that you were shooting for it in the first place anymore.
I mean, meanwhile, low budget bullshit will beat them.
Yeah, that's what does well. Things that feel genuine do very well right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd think that would be every art form coming out, but I don't know.
Well, no, I wouldn't say the Marvel movies feel genuine.
No,
The Marvel
absolutely
movies
not.
feel like a marketing team
Yeah,
wrote the entire thing.
it was. Yeah, there's only a couple standout films in the Marvel series for me, but the rest of them, like none of them are unwatchable. None of them are offensive in any way.
I think they're all. Think that's the point. They're all something
I
you
haven't
can
seen
watch.
the new Chinese one, but I heard that one was kind of offensive to watch.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
People who've gone and seen it, who are skeptical of it before, they said they kind of liked it. But with some of the things this guy, the actor Simu Liu, was talking about, bro, he's making it sound like there has never been an Asian protagonist in a film ever.
He is the first.
Well, he's correct.
He's talking about how he's doing it because growing up he never got to see someone like him. He thought that the only role he'd ever get is someone being punched. It's like,
What
bro,
about
do you
Bruce
know
Lee?
who Jackie Chan
Jackie
is?
Chan, exactly. I was like,
Bruce Lee?
Yeah. Brian Lee.
Jet Li? Come
They're all-
on.
they're all named Lee.
It was like, that's bullshit. You're
Yeah.
lying. You're
It's
just
like if you were
lying
really
for-
like, I need
Jackie
to see
Chan
a
is
person
like one
of
of
the
the
same
most
race as me.
iconic action heroes of all time.
Yeah,
This is
dude.
Bruce Lee.
And you know what's
Yeah.
crazy? There was people from Jackie Chan's stunt team who were part of the Shang-Chi film. It's like, what?
Did the dude who did Shang-Chi, did he do his own stunts?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
he apparently he's pretty good at martial arts.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, someone needs to write into these actors' contracts, do not talk to the press. Just shut up, please.
And it's
Please. Every word that comes out of your mouth, we lose $500,000. Please just shut up.
You remember when the Hulk said, the actor who played the Hulk said, "Hey, wait till you see this next movie. Everyone dies." In an interview. And he said, "Wait, you guys aren't going to put that out, right?"
Oh,
and the
God.
people that they're interviewing him don't say a word.
Yeah, dude.
They're like, "You just gave us gold. We are running with it."
That's gonna have to be in contracts. You're also gonna have to put into your contracts that please don't make a CGI version of me when I'm a corpse in the ground, please.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Please, when I am dead, let me be dead.
Dude,
You know?
like for Carrie Fisher, it was controversial when they brought back Grand Moff Tarkin. That dude's been dead for a
Completely
while.
unnecessary.
There was no way you could have known he would have been
Yeah.
reproduced in a film.
And like
Peter
his
Cushing.
scene wasn't even that necessary.
he didn't die that long after Star Wars came out.
No, and it's like, this feels kind
Like
of
he didn't even know that it would be that big a deal for that long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
but I am looking forward to the next Norm Macdonald podcast where he's
oh
there
my
is a
god,
CGI figure.
Dude, thinking about it, as bad as it is to be re-CGI'd, you remember when Isaac Hayes died in South Park? And they were just piecing together like dialogue for Chef? You remember that?
Yes, yeah, that was so weird.
That was
'cause they
weird
were
at the
like
time,
he lost
too.
his mind because they had to explain what happened to his character because the guy quit because he was a Scientologist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they had to explain what happened to his character. So they said he went insane and he started living off with this remote group of people that were in this cult. And then he died. And Eric Cartman wouldn't stop talking about how when you died, you shit yourself. And then Chef dies and he shits himself.
Oh my god.
But
Yeah,
the
that
entire
was-
time they just use old clips of Chef. And like they justify the fact that he doesn't sound natural by saying like, oh, yeah, he's gone insane.
Yeah, that was.
But I think at the time it was a good joke because they were clearly poking fun at the fact that he was a Scientologist.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I
Because
was
he goes
thinking,
off
is
to
like,
join this weird
He's
cult.
going,
Yeah.
he's crazy, and they only, I mean, it makes sense
That they
from
didn't-
somebody who wasn't familiar.
That
with,
they didn't try to make it as smooth as possible kind of helps. It's part of the joke.
yeah, that's what I meant.
When you have a fully reimagined Carrie Fisher floating through space holding her hand out, it's like, can we just not?
Or like a
Can we
or
just
like a,
not?
or like a young Carrie Fisher saying
That-
hope. Well, it
That-
wasn't
that
necessary.
actually- I don't think that was so bad.
No, okay, no. They could have done the exact
Trying to recreate her 20 minutes before they lowered the coffin to the ground. Just don't.
No,
don't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, too soon.
In Rogue One, which I admit is the best of all the new movies. Rogue One is the best one of all the new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I
I
enjoyed
have a
watching
soft
it.
spot for Solo, but sure, I'll say that. I'll say that.
I've not seen Solo.
That's
but-
all right.
But and maybe I'll check it out because I heard that I like what's his name, Donald Glover. But,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Grand Moff Tarkin and Carrie Fisher did not need to turn around. They both had their backs
They
to you.
didn't have to
You
do it.
knew who they were. They didn't have to turn around.
They didn't have to do it.
Even as a fanfare thing, as a fan, just the idea of them being there.
More than enough,
Yeah,
dude.
I was like, that's cool.
Her
you know?
and our iconic robe, good enough.
Yeah, it's
We
like
don't
they
need
just-
any more than
They
that.
just,
Moff
they just handed
Tarkin's
to her. I
iconic
didn't see like a
voice.
shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Just
a
over
voice
his,
actor.
just
who's,
the
like,
over
really
the
good.
shoulder shot, perfect. Did not need to do anything more than that.
Yeah, he did not need to turn around, and I did not need to see how weirdly smooth you made his skin. The dude was an old wrinkly ass man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Has technology defeated the uncanny valley yet? Or are we still watching Polar Express?
Oh no,
what's going on
we're
out here?
deep in the uncanny valley. We've dug ourselves deeper.
Oh God. You guys remember the Polar Express, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, how
With
everyone
Tom Hanks?
Yep.
everyone kind of
Yeah.
looked really smooth. Yeah, Tom Hanks
Everyone-
was the conductor.
Everyone looked real weird. It's
Yeah.
uncomfortable to watch almost.
It was sort of like
I
the
actually
human
enjoyed that
equivalent
movie,
of Pac-Man.
but-
I liked
I
the movie.
it. Bro, when
As a
that
kid,
when
I
that
was an
train
idiot.
is sliding across the ice, he hits that
Yes.
joint in reverse, that is
Yes.
insane. That's still crazy
So
to this
good.
day.
So good.
He's typing things in their ticket as advice at the end. The girl's like, lead.
Yeah.
Lead.
Yeah, it's I guess.
Does
guess
it
CGI
basically
hasn't
tell like
gotten
the
all that
one
much
guy
better.
to shut the fuck up, basically?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Or it was like listen, but
Yeah, we knew what he meant.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
The
were
intent was clear.
It's like you started out the movie by telling him what kind of train this was. This is a fucking magic train, you dumbass.
Yeah. Did you remember seeing the trailers for the Cats remake?
I do, and I could tell you then it was bad.
Yeah, you're right. We have not defeated
Yeah,
the
no.
Uncanny Valley yet.
No, and also they put that guy in there that seems to ruin any project he touches outside of his own show.
James Corden.
Yeah, James Corden.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like his own show, it's decent. You know, I don't hate it.
Dude, I heard
Ruins
Jason
anything
Derulo was
outside
in that
of it.
movie, and I heard that the editors downsized the bulge of his penis in the cat suit because his penis was too noticeable in the suit. Like he complained about it in an interview that like they like decreased the size of his like the bulge in his his cat.
What did the suits look like in filming? Was it just a green Zentai, basically? Or
It must have been the thing with all the balls on it.
that's what I'm
That's-
assuming, right?
Yeah.
I feel
Why-
like that's kind of outdated technology now. Now it's like just like small like LED lights that they have that they can follow, I believe. Like
Oh, really?
yeah, like the big like cotton ball type things are like 5.
We're thinking of the behind the
10,
scenes
yeah,
of
like
Lord
from
of the
like
Rings.
Lord of the Rings or
Watching
Avatar.
Andy Serkis crawl around in that suit.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's much more like
Avatar.
now they get like especially with like the up close
Yeah,
scenes.
that's how Avatar was shot. Sorry.
Now with the up close scenes, they literally can just draw like a marker dots on your face, and like the camera will like see the dots.
Oh, yeah.
and can like do the computer like digitalization
connect
of
the
the new face.
polygons,
Exactly, connect the polygons.
Like how long until like they just put like they'll just be able to put like a billion little dots on your face 100% accurately.
Dude, how
That's
long?
pretty
how long
much what they
until
do.
The camera
Oh,
can-
is that it right now?
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you look at like especially for like video games and stuff, I feel like video games have gotten it better than most of the
Well, no,
movies.
video games are
Yeah,
like
you-
taking like a bunch of pictures from a different.
You
bunch
see
of
them
different
wearing a
angles.
No, but
rig
but,
that's
like-
like filming the entire.
Yeah,
But for
face
like
at all
Halo,
times.
yeah, like I know for at least for like the Halo 5 like behind the scenes, like for like Nathan Fillion and stuff, like he's like I recognize his face the most because I know him as a real person, as a real actor.
Yeah.
And like they do like all like the thousands of little dots and like a head piece with the camera and like the motion track suit, and they have like mock assault rifles, and they fully like motion capture the scenes. They block out. They have the full fire team, all 4 of them there with their like mock weapons, and it's full like motion capture scene, and then just completely like digitally done over.
Do
Huh.
you guys
Well,
remember?
the most accurate they ever got is when they would just take videos of people and then just digitize it. Do you remember when they used to do that shit?
Oh, rotoscoping,
yeah, rotoscoping. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
where you
I feel
take,
like we've gotten so
human
advanced.
footage and essentially trace over it
Mhm.
frame by frame.
I feel like we've basically gotten so advanced that we're just rotoscoping again.
Basically, yeah.
It's just like with way more
It's like with a
pixels.
community. Yeah, it's like with a computer.
Did you
Computers,
guys
like-
you guys remember the behind the scenes for episode 3? Where it was just giant green rooms, and it's
Blue.
like
They
this
were
is
still
so
using blue screen.
stupid. There's no one on the set. Little did we know that would be every film in
Yeah,
the future.
yeah.
George Lucas
Called it.
decades ahead of his time.
But also, like, every other film would, like, have people moving around. George Lucas was like, so you're going to walk on this treadmill
walk
for a
down
while.
the hallway, take a seat on the bench, get up, walk down another hallway.
And you're just going to have conversations and nothing's going to happen the whole movie until there's a fight scene where we'll have two dancers fight each other.
Dude, the funniest one is when you see the behind the scenes of Obi-Wan talking to General Grievous once he drops into the little area.
Hello there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I've not seen the behind the scenes.
And, you know, General Grievous, he takes out his lightsabers and does his crazy display, and Ewan McGregor's just standing there because he can't see anything. Now, Ewan, I want you to pretend like there's a four-armed robot with 1 billion lightsabers. It's like, okay.
Okay.
I guess.
Am I impressed by his number of lightsabers? Am I intimidated?
I'm honestly impressed the movies came along as good as they did with as little things happening on set for them to address and act to, you know?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean,
It's really a testament to the caliber of actors that they had at the time. A lot of those actors, luckily, had experience with like stage acting, so they're
Yeah.
had some amount of like they were accustomed to like some amount to. I mean, forcing themselves to mentally visualize the sets that they're on and the characters and that sort of thing. So,
like
but
the
yeah,
only two actors that weren't used to that were Samuel L. Jackson and
Samuel L. Jackson didn't have stage.
I don't think he's.
I-
Can you name a theatrical
think so.
production he was in?
No, but I can't name a
Shaft,
theatrical.
Shaft the musical.
I can't name.
Okay,
I mean, I can't name.
Can you picture Samuel L. Jackson in a theatrical production of literally fucking anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just see him yelling on stage, and it's very funny.
It's like why is he playing a calm, cool character?
Yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson says motherfucker and shoots things.
Why wasn't he a Sith?
Yeah,
He would have been a very fun bad guy.
if he had been like, you know, fuck you made him Count Dooku, except like Count Dooku was less sophisticated and more fuck you and shot things, you know?
Yeah.
And he was sick of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Yeah. George Lucas had slipped in a line like that in about the Sith showing up in the Senate. That would have been crazy.
Motherfucker!
Bro, that would have been a heat.
When Mace walks in to confront the Emperor, he just tells the other Jedi, "Kill that motherfucker."
Yeah.
It's like not you're under arrest. Kill that motherfucker.
That's what was George thinking? Why not just get a?
It is written in the sacred text.
Yeah.
He actually does. Actually is. He actually does, I believe, have it written in most of his contracts that he has to say it at least once or a few times.
Yeah, he's known for saying the word motherfucker.
I
Actually,
I
on his
watched
lightsaber, you can't see in the movie, it says motherfucker.
Really?
That's what I've heard. That could be bullshit.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember watching an interview of his one time where he actually explained that he used to have like an incredibly like bad stutter, and that his use of motherfucker was a way for him to break his stutter when learning how to speak, and that's why he's so prolific at saying it, is because he practiced saying it more than anybody else. It's he needed to say it to break his pattern, so he taught himself to say it in so many different ways, and that's why he's such a prolific motherfucker. Is that he really did need that word to help him overcome his stutter.
If I was ever going to pay somebody a lot of money to say motherfucker, it'd be Samuel L. Jackson. There's no one else I would go to say motherfucker.
I'd get Elizabeth Warren. That'd be pretty
That'd be pretty funny. Elizabeth Warren saying motherfucker. You know she'd say it like motherfucker.
Yeah, dude.
Also, she'd need way more money.
Dude, we mentioned Avatar earlier. When's Avatar 2, 3,
No one's
4,
watching
5,
those now.
and 6?
I'm not watching that.
Seth, are they still in production?
They're not happening. They'll
When
stall
James
them
Cameron's
forever.
put his mind to something, dude's been to the bottom of the Marianas Trench.
Yeah, instead of making Avatar 2.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And on that point, folks, I think we're gonna have to leave you
Alrighty.
until the next one.
Goodbye.
Boom.